This is the Ottawa Senators Outlook. Here is your host, Jack Henry.
Hello, welcome to the Ottawa Senators Outlook. I'm host Jack. This is my Stanley Cup playoffs bracket, so let's get right to it. So we're going to start off in the Western Conference, and the St. Louis Blues are taking on the Winnipeg Jets. This is going to be a really interesting series. The St. Louis Blues got on a really big hot streak to get into the playoffs. They won 12 in a row. This is going to be a really competitive series. However, the Winnipeg Jets, the President's Trophy winner, I do think overall are just a slightly better team, so I'm going to pick the Winnipeg Jets to win the series in 7 games over the St. Louis Blues. Next up, we have the Avalanche taking on the Dallas Stars, and originally, I actually did have the Dallas Stars winning this series, but with the injuries to Robertson and Miro Heiskanen, I do think it's pretty safe to say that the Colorado Avalanche are going to win this series. I have them winning in 6 games, and at some point, Gabriel Landeskog can return as well. I don't think he will be what he was before he was out for the amount of time he was when he won the Stanley Cup against the Lightning. However, I do think the Avalanche will get maybe 75% of what Landeskog usually is. So therefore, I do think overall the Avalanche are the better team and they will win the series in 6 games. Next up, we have the Vegas Golden Knights and the Minnesota Wild. I do think this is a kind of predictable series here. The Vegas Golden Knights are just, again, a really, really good team. They won the division again. I'm going to pick the Vegas Golden Knights to win the series in 5 games over the Wild. Next up, I think the matchup nobody wanted, the Edmonton Oilers taking on the Los Angeles Kings. This is the 4th year in a row these two teams went head-to-head in the playoffs, but for the first time, the Los Angeles Kings are the ones that have the home ice advantage. The first year in 2022, the Edmonton Oilers won in 7 games. The second year, they won in 6 games. The third year, which was last year, they won in 5 games. This year, I think will be the same result. The Edmonton Oilers will win. I have them winning in 6 games over the Kings. Now let's go to the Eastern Conference. The Washington Capitals taking on the Montreal Canadiens. So, the Washington Capitals, I had in the playoffs way before the season started. However, I did not have them being the best team in the Eastern Conference. The Montreal Canadiens, I don't think anybody saw going to the Stanley Cup playoffs. So, props to the Montreal Canadiens for making it. But I do think this is a pretty predictable series. As much as the Canadiens should be really proud of the season that they had, I just think the Washington Capitals are the better team, and I think the Capitals will win the series in 5 games. Next up, we have the New Jersey Devils and the Carolina Hurricanes. If everybody was available for this series, I think this is one of the more fun series you're going to see. But with the injuries the New Jersey Devils have, I think this is pretty predictable. I think the Carolina Hurricanes are going to win the series in 5 games over the New Jersey Devils. Next up, the Battle of Ontario between the Senators and the Maple Leafs. I picked the Senators in 7 games, and if you want to hear my explanation, you just go to my series preview video, and I have that all explained for you. Next up, we have the Battle of Florida between the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Florida Panthers are the defending Stanley Cup champions. However, the Lightning have kind of bounced back in a sense. They were the wild card last year, and obviously they lost Steven Stamkos. They brought in Jake Gensel, and that really somewhat maybe opened up their window. The Lightning are just an elite team again, and not that they ever weren't, but I think you see a bounce-back effort like that from Andrei Vasilevsky and just everybody else on that team, and they're just right now looking a lot better than the Florida Panthers are right now. The Florida Panthers are just trying to get guys back from injury, but at the end of the day, I don't think it'll be enough. I think the Tampa Bay Lightning will win that series in 6 games over the Florida Panthers and dethrone them from their Stanley Cup championship. So now let's go to round 2. The Winnipeg Jets taking on the Colorado Avalanche. This will be a very close series. I learned very well from last year when these two teams went head-to-head in the first round. I think that the Colorado Avalanche are going to be the ones to take down the Winnipeg Jets. I do have some questions with the Jets. Just, are they able to be what they were in the regular season? And Colorado, with the experience that they have, I think the Jets won't be able to match Colorado at this stage of the playoffs. So I'm going to pick the Avalanche to win in 6 games over the Winnipeg Jets. Now we have the Vegas Golden Knights and the Edmonton Oilers. These two teams went head-to-head in 2023 in the second round. And the Edmonton Oilers obviously went to the Stanley Cup Finals. Vegas Golden Knights were out of it in 7 games against Dallas. I think Vegas is going to find a way to bounce back. Edmonton I don't think they're going to be able to reciprocate what they have last year when they went to the Stanley Cup Final. I think Vegas is a much better team. I'm going to pick the Golden Knights to win that series in 6 games as well. Now we have the Washington Capitals taking it on the Carolina Hurricanes here. Washington Capitals obviously had a really good year. Carolina started getting pretty hot. I think Washington Capitals showed a bit of signs that maybe they aren't going to be what they were in the regular season. But as good of a team as they are, I think the Carolina Hurricanes are going to get the best out of them. I think Carolina will win that series in 6 games. Now we have the Ottawa Senators taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning in round 2. I'm just going to be honest with you, to all Sens fans, as good of a team as the Senators had, the Lightning just have so much better experience, and they're just overall the much, much better team. I think the Tampa Bay Lightning are going to win the series in 5 games. Now we have the Eastern and Western Conference Finals between the Avalanche and the Golden Knights. The Avalanche, I think, made a pretty good run here, same with the Vegas Golden Knights. However, I do believe that the Vegas Golden Knights will be able to find a way to win this series. I think the Avalanche season will strike midnight. Vegas is just a powerhouse right now, so with that, I'm going to pick the Vegas Golden Knights to win this series in 6 games over the Avalanche. Now we have the Carolina Hurricanes taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I'm really excited for this series. This one will be down to the wire, but this is where I think the Carolina Hurricanes season will strike midnight like the Colorado Avalanche. I think the Tampa Bay Lightning, at this stage, where they are, I think the goaltending especially will definitely favor them in this matchup. I think it'll go down to the wire. It'll go the distance. I will pick the Tampa Bay Lightning to win that series in 7 games over the Carolina Hurricanes. Now we have the Stanley Cup Finals between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Tampa Bay Lightning. And this series legitimately could go either way. I think you have really good reasonings for both of these teams to win the Stanley Cup this year. But I think with the revenge this team is out for, I think with overall the goaltending, the offense that we've been able to see from a lot of these guys. However, I am picking the Tampa Bay Lightning to win in 6 games over the Vegas Golden Knights. So with that, I am picking the Tampa Bay Lightning to win the Stanley Cup. They won it back-to-back years in 2020 and 2021. They lost the Cup final in 2022 to the Avalanche. They were out in the first round the previous 2 seasons. I think the Lightning are out for revenge, and I think they will win the Stanley Cup this year over the Vegas Golden Knights in 6 games. So this was somewhat of a shorter video compared to some of the other bracket challenge videos I've ever done, but this is my bracket. So give me your thoughts on this bracket. I will have a second chance bracket because I know some of these picks are going to age pretty poorly. Hopefully it's not the Battle of Ontario, but we'll see what happens there. So anyways, give me your thoughts on this, like and subscribe. But for now, this is Jack the Center Zolok, and Go Sens Go.
Thank you for watching this presentation of the Ottawa Senators Outlook. For more of this podcast, click on the videos on the left, and subscribe by clicking on the icon on the right. Thank you.